Gigi Variety reading FoodWISE, still on food security and resilience. Just a few miles away from Birchwood, the Lummi Nation, L'Artemish, people of the sea, deals with its own food security problems. Its solution has been to develop distribution networks to improve access to food. Its Northwest Indian College runs a service program that distributes boxes of fresh, locally grown fruit and vegetables through the summer and fall. The program also participates in special food gatherings, classes, and cultural exchanges. The Lummi Food Bank is open almost every day and has served up to several hundred families each week. At the same time, the Lummi Nation makes major efforts to protect its own salmon and shellfish resources, including managing its shellfish hatchery. Another example of urban food self-sufficiency efforts is Detroit's Georgia Street Community Collective, a 19-lot urban farm founded by Mark Covington in his childhood neighborhood. Other community food operations exist in Baltimore, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Austin, and in many other cities. Has it been easy to set up the urban farms found throughout the country? Often, no. In Corktown, Detroit, Brother Nature produce farmers tried unsuccessfully to buy the single acre of land they had used for years to produce closed-loop, all materials recycled vegetable produce. Eventually, they had to settle on acreage about an hour away in the county. A common problem has been finding land to farm in a city. For one thing, those who are the most needy and vulnerable often don't have much of a say in how city land is being used. Once again, existing economic and social structures obstruct access to what is needed to improve food sources. The next section is titled The Vulnerable. I'll read that tomorrow night. I want to say that I had the great privilege to teach at Northwest Indian College for 7 years, working on a tribal natural resources management program. And at that time, Northwest Indian College was a 2-year institution, and now it's a 4-year institution. So I'm lucky in Bellingham to be living in the shadow and indeed on traditional homelands of Indian nations, as well as other international territories and countries, such as Canada, also living, the residents there, on unceded lands. So we acknowledge that. The articles I have tonight are dire. So what I just read was about resilience. It was about being wise, whole, informed, sustainable, and experienced, and empathetic, and what we need to do to take care of each other. And so one article is looking at different regions and countries on the Africa subcontinent, and looking at restrictions that are being eased for economic progress, despite rising infection rates of COVID, the disease. And then the other piece is looking at a different kind of SOS, Save Our Stilton, and what is happening with Stilton, this kind of blue cheese that has to be inoculated with specific bacteria and grown under very specific conditions to get that delicious blue cheese flavor unique to Stilton. How demand is way down during the coronavirus pandemic, and what people in the UK are trying to do to revitalize that industry in the face of changing demand.